you. Today we'll study about the hotspots of biodiversity. As far as biodiversity is concerned, you know what biodiversity means. Biodiversity means the variety and variability among the living organisms. However, with increasing level of industrial development, it has been very difficult for various developing nations as well as developed nations to put a balance between development as well as conservation. And it was also not economically feasible to conserve all the biological resources of a nation. So, in order to conserve the maximum resources, the concept of biodiversity hotspot came into existence. Now, this concept was first put forward by British biologist Norman Mayers in 1988. Actually, it is another method of in situ conservation of biodiversity. As far as biodiversity is concerned, a biodiversity hotspot means it's a biogeographical area with significant levels of biodiversity threatened with destruction. That means there is sufficient amount of threatened species in that area. That can be considered, or that can be formed as a biodiversity hotspot, so that those threatened species can be conserved. So there are criteria have been fixed to make a particular area as a biodiversity hotspot. One of the criteria is number of endemic species. So, endemic species means these species are found only in that particular region. They are not found anywhere else. Okay. So biodiversity hotspot must have 0.5% or 1500 of world's 3 lakh species of vascular plants as endemics. Okay, the particular area which we are taking as a biodiversity hotspot must contain 0.5% of total number of vascular plants as endemics. That means only in that part the plants must be restricted. They are not found anywhere else. Got it? First point was number of endemic species. Then second criteria was degree of threat in terms of habitat loss. That means that particular region must have lost around 70% of its natural vegetation. So that particular region or habitat is threatened. So these are the two criteria on the basis of which biodiversity hotspot can be fixed. Got it? So already there are 36 hotspots in the world, biodiversity hotspots in the world, which represent around 2.5% of Earth's land surface. Remember it, around 2.5% of Earth's land surface. The 36 hotspots that are found, they represent around 2.5% of Earth's land surface. And these, even though they contain a very little amount of land surface, however, around 75% of world's most threatened mammals, birds and amphibians, and 50% of all plants and 42% of land vertebrates they contain. Okay, even though they represent a very minute amount of area in terms of area, but as far as flora and fauna is concerned, sufficient amount of flora and fauna they are having. Got it? So let us consider about what are the biodiversity hotspots in India. You know that on a world context, we can say that the diversity is maximum in tropics, and you can see if you find out the 36 biodiversity hotspots in world, around 16 biodiversity hotspots are found in tropics, exclusively found in tropics. Okay, they have been designated in tropics. Now, as far as India is concerned, there are 4 regions of hotspots in India. One is Western Ghats and Sri Lanka. Another one is Eastern Himalayas. Then third one is Indo-Burma, and last one is Sundaland. Okay, Western Ghats, Eastern Himalayas, Indo-Burma, and Sundaland. Now, as far as Western Ghats is concerned, Western Ghats are a chain of hills running along the coast of southern peninsula. Okay, peninsula. They run along the coast of southern peninsula. They show high species diversity with great endemism. Endemism means those species are only confined to Western Ghats, only found in Western Ghats. Okay, about 77% of amphibians and 62% of reptile species are endemic here. About 77% of amphibians and 62% of reptile species are endemic here. Okay. Then second one is Eastern Himalayas. They contain about 163 globally threatened species. Third one is Indo-Burma regions, known for endemic freshwater turtle species. Then last one is Sundaland. It includes the Southeast Asian countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore and Philippines. They come under this region. Then as far as India is concerned, Nicobar Islands represent India. Okay, so 4 biodiversity hotspots in India are your Western Ghats, then Eastern Himalayas, then Indo-Burma regions, then Sundaland. Okay, as far as Sundaland is concerned, Nicobar Islands is included under Sundaland hotspot region. Okay, I hope this will be enough for your biodiversity hotspots as far as India is concerned. Okay, thank you.